hope you're well. I'm filming down here because I usually film on this red chair or the chair behind me, but the lighting is still pretty good. It's currently afternoon, so I thought I would sit down here and have the lighting because I have the window here. I wanted to sit down because it's already been kind of a week-ish, maybe just over a week since we've come to Italy to stay and hang out with my parents for the Easter holidays. I just wanted to talk about what we've been up to, and I mean, it's been pretty chill. We spent Easter at home and then we went to the beach, which was really fun actually. We went with some friends and just spent the day at the beach all day, and then most of the time I've just been trying to do some prep work for my upcoming markets. I've recently signed up to do a market in the summer. I'll be doing it in June, so I've got like a month and a half-ish to prep, but I also have uni work, so I kind of have to do both at the same time, which is fine. I'm not planning to have like a massive restock of stuff. I have a good amount of new things. I'm planning to have maybe some new prints and a couple of new stickers. I do want to have some manufactured stuff this time, so that I don't have to spend so much time like actually making it myself, unfortunately, so I can save a little bit of time. I really want to make a sticker sheet, and I really want to make some washi tapes, which I've never done before. So I feel like a month and a half might be just enough time to do it. I don't know, we'll see. I think other than that, I haven't really been doing that much. I wanted to redecorate my room, but that is a much bigger task than I thought. This room is fairly spacious. I wanted to make it a little bit more my style now, since it's changed quite a bit since over the years, and obviously I might be coming back here for a little bit to stay with them after I finish uni, so I was like, I'm here now for a little bit, and why not spruce it up? But I don't know if I'll have time. I still have a week here, so maybe I'll get some decorating done. I brought some posters and things from back in the UK so that I could have them here, but I don't know. It feels kind of a big task actually. There's quite a chunk of furniture that I would want to move around, but I just don't know if this is the right time. And yeah, I think last week was a bit odd as well because I had my vaccine done. I had a vaccine that I needed to get done, and then it was all fine. Like, I didn't get any side effects from it or anything, but strangely enough, TMI, I got my period early, so that kind of made me feel a little bit off sooner than I was anticipating, because it was like a week early, which was like kind of strange. But like, anyway, other than that, yeah, I've just been kind of dealing with that, and the weather's been actually really nice, so it's been kind of a nice change from the UK. It's not been too hot here right now because it is springtime. It's been like a steady 20 degrees, which is so great, and then you get like a little breeze, and it's nice. It's really nice. I think we'll definitely be going to the beach at least one more time before we go back to the UK. This week it's supposed to rain at some point, but that could also change because the temperatures are rising. So anyway, if you watched my previous vlog about books and stuff, I did like a reading vlog, or at least I tried to, just before I came to Italy. I mentioned I finished the My Vampire is a Roommate book, and I started reading Love at First Fright. Now, I've taken the cover off because this is a hardcover book, and reading with the cover is a little bit flimsy, so I took it off, but I'll pop a picture of what it actually looks like. This one's still really pretty and beautiful. I just think I'm being really careful not to damage it as much because it is a hardcover, and I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm one of those people who tends to put hardcover books on like a hierarchy. Like, I feel like hardcover books are just kind of like for the aesthetic rather than to be read, you know, whereas like soft covers is like, you can bend it, you can break it, you can kind of just, you know, actually read it. But anyway, on the actual book itself, I'm currently almost halfway through, and I wrote some notes on my iPad, so if I'm looking down here, it's because I have my iPad staring back at me. I've read 100 pages of this book so far, and I want to give some quick notes that I have. Now, if you've not read this book, it's basically just about an author who's making her book into a movie, and the lead actor is someone who she doesn't think he fits the role of her book characters, and they kind of like travel to basically make this book into a movie, right? And there's like a few characters involved in between, and the plot kind of follows them falling in love at the end of it. Now, my thoughts so far are I like it, and also this is going to reveal some spoilers, so just a pre-warning. I didn't realize the age gap was so prominent. Like, there is a quite a big age gap, and that is my fault on not doing the research before reading, that there is quite a prominent age gap. It's not as bad as people might think. I think these characters are in their 30s or way over 30, and the writer is writing the age gap in a pretty good way so far, I think. I don't know why that threw me off. I think it's because I haven't really read books that have an age gap before, so that's very new to me. Obviously this is like a spicy book, so obviously if you're not over 18 I wouldn't recommend reading it, but I think also because throughout my whole life I've been surrounded by older people. Most of my friends are close to their 30s and my own age. I feel quite familiar with the surrounding and with the like usage of their language even though they're older, but I don't know, it doesn't really matter that much to me anymore. Like, I've read just over 100 pages of this book and I'm actually kind of enjoying it. I don't know, the age gap isn't too prominent. It's mentioned a few times, so like it's still in your head, you know, when you're reading you're like, oh yeah, by the way, like the characters have an age gap, you know, that is kind of a prominent thing, but I don't think it really hinders the storyline too much. At least for me it doesn't. I'm interested to see how Ellis kind of puts Jenna into his story, or maybe lack thereof. I feel like him and Jenna, those two characters are like fake dating right now. I'm interested to see how that will kind of progress and what involvement she will have in the future, if any. And then I'm really excited to see how the writer is gonna make Ellis and Rose like kind of progress. Like, I kind of want to see what conflicts they're gonna get into, right? Because I think I'm right before that. I'm right before the chapters when they actually get together. So once they do, and once there's an issue to figure out, I'm wondering what that will be. But also I'm really excited for when Ellis finds out Rose can see ghosts. Rose and Ellis are obviously the main characters. Rose is the writer and Ellis is the actor. I feel like the ghosts so far have been pretty interesting, and the fact that Rose can see Ellis's dog that passed away, I feel like that's such a sweet little detail that they've added. And I also love like the diversity within the book. You know, you have like different characters of gender and sexuality, and I think that's like a nice fluidity, but it doesn't really, it does it in such a way that feels natural. It feels good to the flow of the story. It's not one of those books or stories where it's like the writer adds in a character who is gender fluid or non-binary, or like someone who's bi or trans. Like, they don't add those things to make them seem like they want to be inclusive, if that makes sense. Like, this writer, I feel like this book does put certain characteristics in different characters, whether they are background characters or main characters. I feel like that is done pretty well, and I feel like the story so far has like a nice progression. It's not too quick, it's not too slow so far. Also, I haven't really read books before where the setting is London, which is somewhere that I've been before. So yeah, so that's kind of fun. I've never read a book where I can kind of picture it so vividly. I think that's been kind of interesting, and I like the writing as well. Like, it's pretty easy to follow, given there's quite a few different background characters. Like, there is quite a few characters here and there, like, that I can't quite remember, that I can't quite follow, but they're not exactly that important to the story quite yet, at least, that it matters that much. Like, especially the filming crew that they're currently surrounded by. It's been quite digestible so far, and I do really like Rose's friends. You know, her witchy little friend group, I think, is quite fun. And I need to see if this author has any other books that include maybe their stories, because I know that quite a few authors do that, where they have the same worlds but different books, and they have different characters, and technically they're standalone books, but you can kind of just read them in any order. I wonder if that's something they do, but I would have to do more research. And I like the way that she describes the settings and the backgrounds that they're in. I think it really puts me in like a fly on the wall kind of vibe, which I like. I don't usually gravitate towards those. I do prefer like a first person narrative, but actually this writer does it pretty well, and I can enjoy it if it's done well. So two things that I don't think I'm enjoying as much is sort of like some of the rhetorical questions that she puts in the books. I think those could be taken out. I think they don't really need to be there for me, at least. Like, sometimes she adds, I wish I could give like an example. Maybe I'll put like a photo on a screen of what I mean in the book, but sometimes she puts these little kind of hints or rhetorical questions, I guess, which I don't know, I just don't think they should be added. And maybe, who knows, I feel like this week, which is the last week that we're going to be here, it's just me going to be doing a bunch of editing, a bunch of work on my iPad, maybe going out like every once in a while. I hope this like Easter vlog is going to be enjoyable to watch, and I really hope none of this footage was too noisy. I'm going to try to do my best with editing, but I'm not the best, so it is what it is.